to the She Leads podcast. I'm your host, Adrienne Garland, CEO and founder of She Leads Media, a global media company dedicated to the advancement of women leaders and entrepreneurs worldwide. I'm also an adjunct professor at NYU and Rice University, where I teach on the topic of entrepreneurship. I'm a mom to two wonderful young men and married to my best friend from college. Join me each week as I dive into raw conversations with remarkable, uncompromising, and inspirational women entrepreneurs and leaders. My hope is that these conversations and their advice will encourage you to put yourself out there and gain the visibility that you and all women deserve. We're all about stripping away the sugar-coated conversations and moving boldly in the direction of our magnificent dreams. For far too long, women have been conditioned to soften their words, modify their actions, and show up in the world to conform to outdated at best and harmful at worst cultural norms and ideals. Why? To keep those who are outside of the power structures from gaining power, prestige, wealth, and influence. This has prevented women from being recognized and respected as the powerful leaders that we truly are. The She Leads podcast is here to shine the light on all the incredible women, to encourage us to show up, speak up, and showcase the amazing work we do. Speak with confidence about the innovative and transformational thoughts that we have, and celebrate the positive impact that we are making in this world, both personally and professionally. So let's do this. Let's lead. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the She Leads podcast. I'm your host, Adrienne Garland, and I am coming to you today. It's the day after the United States elections, and Trump is going to be our 47th president. I am not happy about this fact. I do think that it's going to embolden some people to act in ways that are against my morals and my beliefs. So I'm sitting here today coming to you from a place of confusion, not understanding how certain facts are interpreted by people in the United States, and just trying to make sense of everything. That's one part of me. The second part of me has hope that not everything is going to fall apart, that there are fundamentally good people in the world that will make the right decisions, that they will see humanity and human beings for everything that we are. And that even if some things do change, if policies change, that we will be able to look at each other as human beings and make the right decisions. I'm definitely afraid for protections that are being taken away for different people under different circumstances. Again, I am sitting here in a state of confusion. I actually did not think that this was going to be the outcome, although I do think in my heart, I thought that this was a definite possibility. I definitely don't want to make the podcast today all about the results of the election, but I do want to acknowledge that if you are also somewhat confused, if you are thinking, how is this going to impact me and my life, my family's lives, my friends' lives, people that I care about, how is this going to impact us? Definitely reach out to me. You can send me an email at hello@sheleadsmedia.com, and I will be sure to respond back to you. The podcast that I wanted to do today was a debrief on the She Leads Live 2024 10th anniversary conference that happened a couple weeks ago on October 18th and 19th in New York City. There were some absolutely incredible, outstanding moments that took place over those 2 days and an evening at our VIP event, and also some, quite frankly, lessons learned that I would like to share with you. There's a lot of heavy energy that I am experiencing right now. So I'm not sure if I'm able to really evaluate things in a logical perspective. I am emotional about many different things. And so I wanted to just come on to the She Leads podcast and let you know that I am an entrepreneur. I am a woman entrepreneur. I have corporate background. I have my MBA in business with a focus in marketing and a concentration in media, entertainment, and technology. I have years and years of experience. I have worked in many different businesses, both large and small, public companies, private companies, matrix organizations. And I've worked with hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of people. And I often don't take the time to acknowledge the depth of experience and expertise that I have in the world of business. I am also a professor. I'm an adjunct instructor at the top educational institutions in the country, New York University and also Rice University. I talk about these things a lot because I'm super proud to be an instructor leading students in thought processes through entrepreneurship. This makes me very proud, and I hold this position with great reverence. And I understand that the things that I teach, the words that I say, how I show up for my students can definitely impact them in their lives. I do my very best to pour as much positivity into my students as I possibly can muster. I want people to be independent thinkers. I want them to challenge themselves. I want them to challenge their thinking. I am all for innovation. I'm all for having a growth mindset. I'm all for seeing opportunity everywhere. And I'm all for, hope, and that we have gifts inside of us that can be expressed through business. We all have passions. We all have expertise. And I think the world needs these things, especially from some of the younger students that come through the different classes that I teach. They have a really amazing outlook on the world and how business and entrepreneurship can help to solve some of the world's stickiest problems, and that profit isn't always the thing that needs to be focused on first, right? How are we solving problems that are actually helping humanity, helping people, helping the planet, just helping in general. And so I feel super excited that I am part of the very beginning of some people's journeys into the world of business, because I do think that business can make an impact. And that at Rice University, where I teach at the graduate level, that there are people of all ages that come through that program, and that I'm able to provide them with a way to think about things that is maybe new and different, and whether they choose to go down an entrepreneurial path or just employ the entrepreneurial process in whatever business that they are in right now, that the information presented helps them to have a broader worldview and perspective. I say all of this because these are the types of thoughts that go into curating the She Leads live conferences. My specific focus on this podcast and through those conferences are women entrepreneurs. And the reason that I am super focused through She Leads Media on helping women entrepreneurs to start, grow, scale businesses is because we fundamentally have a unique and super valuable perspective that doesn't always get the attention or the resources that we need in order to put some of these incredible solutions forward. When the conference doesn't satisfy a profit goal, even if it's a break-even goal that I have set forth, I become very despondent because the work that we're doing in order to help women entrepreneurs to just think about things in a different way, to launch businesses, to create different offerings, to bring to the table different solutions, and to find the community, the support, the resources, the financing that we need. When those things don't all come together, it's very, very disheartening. Building a business that is based on helping people to implement information that is given to them, I think is a very challenging business model. It's something that I, quite frankly, have not been able to figure out. And I just want to be really honest with everybody here on the podcast, because this podcast is about real conversations with women entrepreneurs. And I hope that in listening to me, that you realize that what I'm sharing is not because I'm weak. I'm actually sharing my frustrations and my confusion at how I'm not able to necessarily, or I haven't been able to really figure out what the proper business model is, what the proper pricing is, what the proper structure and offers and all of that is. I am being very forthright with you because I actually have a great deal of strength and a great deal of confidence in my ability to solve problems and to figure things out. It is something that I have been able to do my whole entire life. And it's not just, business problems, right? It's everything from fixing things that are broken, like physical objects, to working out what is happening in relationships or with friendships or in an academic setting. Or if there's, a sticky problem that requires teasing apart into their own individual pieces or seeing how things fit together. I'm really good at it and I have a lot of confidence. And so this particular problem that I'm facing is a deep and sticky problem that has actually been challenging me for the last 10 years. I do think that this business that I have created is serving me personally in a very real way. It could be that it is a business that constantly throws problems my way because I do like to solve problems. So it's giving me the challenge of constantly solving a problem. The thing is, at this point in my business journey, the business cannot continue forward in the shape and the form that it is right now because the business is just not making the profit that's required to keep it going. I'm not sure if any of you resonate with this, but I'm actually doing some other things in my life that allow me to continue moving forward with the business, the conference as it is right now. So other things that I do actually fund the She Leads Live conferences, fund this podcast, fund the community that I launched actually at the She Leads Live conference. I want to talk to all of you that are listening into the podcast about that community, but I'm not ready to do that yet. I just wanted to kind of come on and share not so much exactly what happened at the conference, but what transpired for me in thinking about my own business as a result of the 10th anniversary conference of She Leads Live. And that is that I need to reimagine the conference and how it is produced and how it is executed, because the costs to put on a conference are real. There are many people that work together behind the scenes to make things happen. There are venue costs that are extraordinarily high, especially in New York City, in order to have people show up for 2 days straight. It is required that you feed people. Those costs are also astronomical. Anything that is done, every single little aspect about the conference, from the planning of it to the actual execution of it, the background music, the pictures that are taken, the staff that is there, every single aspect of that conference has a dollar that is associated with it. And the equation is simple. If the money that is coming in from ticket sales and sponsorships does not outweigh those costs, then the business and that particular event, that particular conference is not profitable. And in previous years, other things, like I mentioned, that I've done have funded the gap, right? Have funded the shortfall of the actual conference. I think the conference and events world is definitely something that is valuable. I don't see it going away anytime soon. I do know that people want to get together live and in person. The pandemic showed us that we can get together in an online environment and, share and have valuable exchanges, but there is nothing like seeing someone face to face, being able to, have a deep and intimate conversation, listen to a brilliant speaker and then talk about that and debrief thoughts after you have heard that, writing things down and sharing with other people. There's just nothing like it. And I'm so proud of the last 10 years and everything that I have been able to curate and bringing together brilliant people on stage as speakers, incredibly generous people that have showed up as attendees, all of our sponsors, right? All of the people that have come together. There is absolutely nothing that I would change when it comes to any of that. I know it in my gut, and I've heard it from many attendees and speakers and sponsors and everything, that what happens at She Leads is magic, and it's magical. The issue is a business one. It's an economic one, right? The equation just doesn't work. And so I need to take a look at that from a logical point of view and see what, if anything, could change in order to flip that equation so that the conference earns profit, so that other conferences and events can happen in different cities, maybe in different forms, maybe a larger conference, maybe a smaller conference. The business model has to change. And that is the challenge that is in front of me right now. If you have a particular business model challenge that you are facing in your business, I would love to hear from you. One of the things that I'm really good at and that I help a lot of students with that work for larger companies and that work on consulting projects is I'm really good at identifying what the actual problem is. I can see it very clearly for other people. And it's like the cobbler whose kids have holes in their shoes. I have a really difficult time actually turning that lens onto myself. If I'm being really honest, it's not necessarily that I even have an issue identifying what the problem is or where the problem lies, but it's that I'm being stubborn in, changing around the business model because I have a very definitive perspective about the type of content that I want to curate and the type of speakers that I want to bring on stage and the different environment that I want to create at the She Leads Live conference. So I come to you today, again, just to wrap this all up. This conversation has maybe ping-ponged in a variety of different directions, but I'm coming to you today from a place of a little bit despondency, a little bit frustration. At the same time, I hold a great deal of optimism and hope in my heart, and also a very deep sense of confidence in my ability to solve problems and to help others. I know that what I am attempting to create with She Leads Media, with the She Leads Live conferences, with this She Leads podcast, with the soon to launch to the world She Leads community is something special. And it is born out of a desire to help women to gain economic freedom, to gain economic power. And I will say this until I'm blue in the face and that you are sick of me saying this. It is not that I want women to, walk around dripping in diamonds with all of the designer bags and clothes, although that's cool. But I do believe that when women hold economic power, that we do things that actually help humanity. And that is what is needed right now. So the day after the election, with more challenges, barriers that we might not even know that we're going to be facing, with those things that are on the horizon, and with hope as our fuel, I am not going to be taking my foot off the gas in doing everything that I can to help women entrepreneurs to get to profitability and to use that profit to help humanity. So that is what I'm here to do. That is what She Leads Media is all about, in case anybody was not clear. And using the platforms and the assets and the intelligence and the knowledge that we have as women to spread these thoughts and to show younger women that having a role as a woman entrepreneur is something that is very powerful and that can truly make change. So thank you so much for listening to this solo episode of the She Leads podcast today. I welcome comments. I welcome feedback. I welcome your thoughts on what you need to hear from me. What are some more real conversations that you want to have about entrepreneurship for women so that we can move forward together in a really powerful way so that we can make change. Don't miss out on reaching out to me. You can send me an email at hello@sheleadsmedia.com. You can also go to our website, sheleadsmedia.com, and fill out a contact form. And please share your thoughts with me. I want this podcast to be something that is super valuable to you, to all of the listeners from all of the different countries around the world. I want you to share your thoughts with me so that I can help you to solve your problems, whether that is business problems, whether that is any type of obstacle that is getting in your way, that is preventing you from getting your business to profitability. Let's figure out how to figure this out together so that we can truly be a force for good and a force for humanity and a force to make change in a super positive way. Thank you so much. And I will be coming back to you next week. This and all of our episodes are brought to you by the She Leads Podcast Network, the podcast network for women, by women. Thanks so much for listening to the She Leads podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support us, please share it with others, Make a personalized post about what you took away on social media, and please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. This helps our guests and our show to continue to gain visibility and traction. To learn more about how She Leads Media helps women to gain visibility, you can follow us on Instagram at She Leads Media, or you can head on over to sheleadsmedia.com. If you'd like to network with me and other amazing women, don't forget to join us each year for the She Leads Live conference. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon. This is the She Leads Podcast Network.